Lord have mercy.
So what do you do about that?
What do I do? Is I tell everybody not to be distracted, and I would say the same thing to the vice president. All the vice president has to do is stay on message. All these conversations about what's black, who's black, forget all that. You know, how you gonna put money in people's pockets? How you gonna keep people safe? That's what both candidates need to be talking about over the next 95 days. We all know Kamala Harris is black, and we all know she's Indian. And we also know Donald Trump is a bigot, and we know he's divisive.
Now,
I don't.
we got Charlemagne the God on CNN, and let's just say he's about to talk about the previous, when he was on the radio, interviewing people thinking that they were going to be for Kamala, and they were against Kamala, and they were black at that. So we all know Charlemagne is the biggest Democrat on earth. Remember, don't forget that one saying. Never forget that one saying by Joe Biden. If you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. That ain't aged too well. With that being said, sit back and react with your boy. If you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. Let's see how this is about to play out right here. You know this is Mr. Panda right here. He's always pandering.
Tonight, I showed up. Those are the exact words that former President Donald Trump is using to defend his appearance at the National Association of Black Journalists convention yesterday, an appearance in which he questioned Harris's race.
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
Of course, Harris is both and has been very clear about that.
So what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand you could be both, but when you're running for election, you can't be selective and say I'm one. Then you come out as biracial, and then you talk about both sides. Isn't that how it's supposed to go? Go in the comments, let me know if I'm far-reaching right now, or if you understand where I'm coming from.
She spoke extensively about it. In fact, over the years, and to Charlemagne the God, host of the Breakfast Club radio show, she talked about it.
I'm black.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Yes. And I'm proud of being black.
Absolutely.
And I was born black. I will die black. And I'm proud of being black. And I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody because they don't understand.
All right, Charlemagne the God's out front. He's also the author of a new book called Get Honest or Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks, an analysis of the moment in which we all live, this polarized world that we are living in. So Charlemagne, Trump's not backing away from the controversy. Today he went online, he shared a photo of Harris wearing a sari in a family photo, and he writes about it. Your warmth, friendship, and love of your Indian heritage are very much appreciated. Okay, so that's what he did today. Let me just ask it to you this way, though, Charlemagne. Does he deserve credit, as he says, for showing up at the Black Journalists event yesterday?
Peace, Aaron. How are you, first and
It goes
foremost?
by its answer.
No, does he deserve credit? No, he doesn't deserve credit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn about any of this, and neither should you. Like, nobody in the media should care. Donald Trump doesn't have any new tricks. He focuses on identity. He focuses on race.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
He focuses on gender. He makes white America think that the changing demographics of this country are a threat to their livelihood, and he makes them believe if we don't take things back to the way they were, probably 1950-something, then America as they know it will be ruined.
Why he didn't have that same energy when Biden said,
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
why he ain't say that then? It's funny, yo. We all know the Democrat is the biggest race baiters, race hustlers, all about race and gender. That's what they push. They did it with Obama. Y'all picked them because y'all thought y'all was close to the race. Where we at today? Now they doing race/gender. They're hitting you with the double whammy. Pay attention, but hope you got your head on a swivel.
No Diddy.
It's just a distraction. Like Public Enemy had a album called Fear of a Black Planet. Trump tries to scare people with the fear of a black and brown America, and we have to stop falling for it. Like we just have to stop falling for it.
All right,
Like,
so yeah. All right, so today, though, you talk about it. You tackled it on your show because it's out there. People are talking about it. One of your callers actually called in and said something about it that I wanted to play for everyone so you could explain sort of how this makes you think and feel. Here's the caller.
Man, to be honest,
Camilla Harris, she already said that she wasn't black. It's all over everything. She done had interviews. Yeah. I understand. But she already said that she's not black.
Kamala.
She identifies as an Indian. When she was running and she did all of that in California.
She never.
Yes, she has.
No, she hasn't.
Yes, she has.
Listen, have you ever read her book?
No, I don't. I won't. Say what now?
In her book, she specifically talks about how, her mom definitely instilled her Indian heritage in her, but also told her she was a black woman and raised her to be a proud black woman.
I have a big issue with that, because if her father has a lineage that doesn't come from Jamaica, he was just born in Jamaica, meaning his nationality is Jamaican because he was born in the nation of Jamaica, right? How are you telling your daughter that you're black and you raising her as a black woman? No, I'm confused with that right there. I'm lost for words right now. I'm super lost.
She has a verbal interview with a white woman, and she says that she is not black. She is Indian.
Matter of fact, my friend Jasper told me one of them coons came by his house to pick his sister up for a date. He said, "Look here, nigga."
Lord have mercy.
So what do you do about that?
What do I do? I tell everybody not to be distracted, and I would say the same thing to the vice president. All the vice president has to do is stay on message. All these conversations about what's black, who's black, forget all that. How you gonna put money in people's pockets? How you gonna keep people safe? That's what both candidates need to be talking about over the next 95 days.
So why are y'all pushing the narrative of a first black woman? She's the first black and woman. This is what they're pushing. This is what they're marketing, so that you could think every skin folk is your kinfolk, and it don't work like that.
We all know Kamala Harris is black, and we all know she's Indian. And we also know Donald Trump is a bigot, and we know he's divisive. I don't need the media running Donald Trump's greatest hits over and over for the next 95 days. Donald Trump, as of right now, has no real strategy against the vice president. So they're going to say she's a DEI hire. They're going to attempt to weaponize her not having kids. They're going to question her blackness. Ignore it all. Aaron, listen.
But Charlamagne, I understand, but you're talking about the media, and I'm not taking it personally, but I do think it's important, in part because of that caller.
Media too, though.
I know, but yeah, no, I understand, but that caller calls in, and whether it should or shouldn't, sometimes it just is. If it gets into the ether and it starts affecting how people think and feel, then that becomes an actual problem. How do you deal with that? You get calls like that. You actually have an opportunity to interact with someone, to try to explain. Do you feel like people hear you?
Yes, I have no problem telling that young man he's bugging. Well, or you could say he's half right? Because yes. The vice president has said she's Indian, but she also says she's black because she's both. And that's why we need to ignore it all. The media should focus on whatever candidate is talking about the issues. Anything else is not worth the airtime. How many times is Donald Trump going to run the same trick over and over and over, and we continue to fall for it?
Ironically, it's not a trick. It's not a trick. Why no one is saying anything about Judge Joe Brown? If all of this was truly a lie and they're being divisive, right? Why no one is bringing up Judge Joe Brown? He's saying the same exact thing. It's because it makes sense. They're being selective.
Distracted. Focus on the issues. Focus on the candidate who has an actual plan for America.
All right, so let me ask you, J.D. Vance is commenting on her. He's been trying to defend Trump's comments about her. And here's what he said to our Steve Cantor. I'm going to highlight one word here, but let me just play it.
Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of. I think it's totally reasonable for the president to call that out, and that's all he did.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
So he calls her a chameleon, and it's the exact same word, actually, Charlamagne, that his former friend, longtime friend, used to describe J.D. Vance to me. Here's what she said.
She is a chameleon. She appeased to the law. When she was working for government, she was kissing some ass. She sent a lot of her own to prison and made a name off of that. Now she's trying to appease to the black people. Then she's trying to appease to the women, to the single women at that. People like this will sell themselves to anyone. If the price is right, she's right there.
What I've seen is a chameleon, someone who is able to change their positions and their values depending on what will amass them political power, and wealth. And I think that's really unfortunate because it reflects a lack of integrity.
I'll just note, Charlamagne, that he used the word chameleon after his friend used it. I don't know whether that, whether he saw that. It's very possible he did. But you write about this. That words matter. You talk about Get Honest or Die Lying. That's your new book. And it's about honesty in politics, right? So when people are using words like chameleon, that may be a word, but it gets at something that's quite deep, right? What is truth? And when is a person actually being genuine? How do you think about this, given where you sit every day, these calls that you get?
They love, I'm telling you, they love twisting things up, I'm telling you. What do you mean? Why are they pushing the issue on the word chameleon? It's not that deep. It's not scientific. Y'all making something out of nothing at this point right now. What he said is what he said. Look up the word. It shouldn't go any further than that, all right?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I have a chapter in my new book called The Language of Politics is Dead. And I talk about how tired we are of the way politicians talk to us and how everything is too safe and folks are too afraid to take chances. And I feel like the internet killed all that, like social media in particular. People have gotten used to hearing ideas, and not just ideas, but news, all topics in just authentic ways. And two things that I love right now, my critique of the vice president was the person I've known since 2017, the person that, we used to see grilling people in Senate hearings. That individual had disappeared over the last few years. But over the last couple of months, whether it's been her, economic opportunity tour, or even after the way she stepped up after Biden's terrible debate performance, and of course now that, she's at the top of the ticket, I've seen that real person show up. Like I've seen that person, really come to the forefront. And I think, as long as we see more of the real her over the next 95 days, she can probably win this thing. So I'm definitely not seeing a chameleon in Vice President Kamala Harris right now. I'm seeing the person that I know on air and off air.
Yeah, of course. That's because you're biased. You understand? Listen, go in the comments, run it up, flood it up. Let me know your thoughts on this right here. Is Charlamagne the God being biased? Do you agree or do you disagree? Am I reaching or are you on the same page? Let me know. Don't forget, if you made it to this part of the video, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.